Hey, this is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is part of the Star Wars Saturdays campaign that I've been running for a while, where every month I pick a different RPG, sometimes a couple within the same month, but often just one RPG for the month. And we jump in and create characters and tell a story. It's an anthology series with a loose timeline based around the original trilogy of movies. That said, the who are the we? This is part of the Gauntlet community, an online community of avid fans of small press, indie, and OSR tabletop role-playing games. And so this is an ever-changing cast because there's an RSVP system and a calendar where you can hop on and join in and play. You could play in Star Wars Saturdays with me. The Gauntlet Patreon members have like a 3-day RSVP priority. So jump in on the wait list. And trust me, there's almost every game that I run, at least one person who slid in off the wait list. It's just the way that it goes. We are currently in the second session of 3 sessions of a hack, because I heard you like hacks and my Venn diagrams of hack. I don't know. There's a game called Star Wars World by Andrew Medeiros, which is a PbtA style mashup for telling Star Wars action series with a bunch of Jedi. And then the original Apocalypse World game from Vincent and Meg Baker has a hack of it called Burned Over. So this is Burned Over Star Wars World. There are a number of changes that William Nichols and I worked on together to create this beautiful little Frankenstein's monster. And I even made some changes from last session to this session based off the feedback from these players. In particular, Do Battle, which is a really cool piece of tech from Burned Over Apocalypse World. A little too much handling time for my tastes, and so I've swapped out that move, which handled all battle defending, all that kind of stuff, with 2 moves: Stand in Defense, which is used to defend someone or an ideal or a place or thing, and Go in Blazing, which is you're aggressively attacking a thing or getting into a scrap or fight or blaster battle. Those moves are not just on a personal level. They can spin up, and that could be a thing that you do in a starfighter or in a tramp freighter or a shuttle. Not that I'm suggesting anything, but it can be done. And so that is how those moves work. And then the other thing is we moved away from using the harm clock, and we're just using harm as a number, because shifting from numbers to clock segments is just a little, and I never really realized it because I first learned Apocalypse World mostly on paper, and it's cooler on paper, but when you get in the digital realm, that transfer of the numbers is just a little odd. So chucked it. There's still a countdown clock on the harm clock on the cool character keeper, but that's mostly because I think it looks really sexy. But everything's in harm ratings as a number with a little tip on what mechanically happens, which is to say that 1 or 2 harm is a thing that heals on its own with time. More than 2 harm is stuff that will stick, and as you get higher up towards the 6 harm, you're closer to dead, and dead is called untenable. And when life becomes untenable, you have choices. You can just die, or there are a few things that you can do to avoid dying, but there are consequences to that. That's all the setup, except for safety tools, friends. We have 2 sets of safety tools. The first one is that we have lines and veils. Lines are content that we do not wish to have in our story. It's just not interesting to us. It may exist somewhere in our world. Oh my God, Draft Ball is the maze. Draft Veil is amazing. That is an awesome background. I am very excited. I will focus. That's so cool. But anyway, these lines, this is not part of our story. It's just things that don't happen. The lines we have are lines against sexual assault and sexual violence, as well as sexual coercion. We have, I guess somebody's watched Return of the Jedi, because we have a line on cannibalism as positive, torture by PCs on other individuals, domestic violence, torture at all. Oh, we got 2 lines. Like, we're very, very short. We have a double line. You can't cross that, even if you wanted to speed. Death and endangerment of children. So those are the lines. We have veils. That's stuff where we're okay if it's a thing that exists in our world, but we're going to fade to black, screen wipe. We're not going to see it on screen. We're not going to do any gory details of it. And the veils are on animal abuse and consensual sex. So people can boink, but we fade to black. Just totally in genre with Star Wars as far as I'm concerned, and I'm very happy to see it. Then the last piece is ask first and interest. Ask first is, hey, I'm cool if this is going to happen, but give me a heads up, right? And those 2 are betrayal between PCs and violent conflict between PCs. So don't spring a shooting a guy in the back without checking in with a player. That doesn't mean the character checking in with a character, right? But on a meta level, we players are going to say, oh, hey, I think this is totally the moment when I screw you over. Is that cool? And if they're not cool, we'll find something else. And if they are cool, then you go forward. Same thing with violent conflict. And then there are a couple of things that are marked as interested, which is romance. We are interested in romance, but we keep it at the romance level, like on a Star Wars level, because we'll fade to black if we ever get to boinking. So I don't know why the phrase boinking is tickling me this morning. I've said it twice, and every time it makes me giggle. I'm a 12-year-old boy, and I'm running Star Wars, so I guess that works out. On top of lines and veils is the X card. Sits there as like a super straight. It is a blunt instrument, but I am a guy who on Twitter calls himself the Orc Lord, so I kind of like blunt instruments. I realize that there are more nuanced safety tools, and they are very effective for other tables. I just choose to use this one. The X card is inviolate. It is a thing where if there is content that we hadn't discussed in Lines and Veils, but for some reason right now it bothers you to a point where you're not having fun, or you just don't want to deal with it, you just say, hey, I need to X card that. You type it in the chat. Also, when I roll for your party, you can click in the X card and type in that content. I'm going to stop play for just a moment. I'm not going to put a spotlight on you. You don't need to explain yourself. But if it's not clear to me what it is that has been X carded, I may ask, okay, was it the thing, or is it this other thing? You tell me what it is, boom, it's gone. Okay, and then we'll move on. Don't want you to, like, if this is something that is some kind of trauma, I don't have your lived experience. I don't want you to have to live through it again. Just like, hey, man, let's back off of this thing. No problem. We'll do that. No part of this Star Wars made up canon is more important than you guys having fun. Unless having fun is like always succeeding and getting all the XP, then I can't do that. That's the rules to this game, bro. All right, let's introduce ourselves to some characters, and I'll spin us back up with a little reminder of what's going on, unless we already discussed it while talking about characters. Cody, my friend, please introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Morning. I'm Cody. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Lin Lanid. He is the Duros noble. He's a younger lad who's been raised as a possible messiah. His people are they're elders and a cult. So, you know, they worship him. They think he's going to be the next great thing. But they are all hoping to advise him in ways, one of whom is in this group. He is now taking a grand tour of the galaxy to find out more so that he can really lead his people when they need it.
There you go. Grand Tour of the Galaxy. The best reason for a Star Wars story. Love it. Thank you so much, Cody. Sabine, please introduce yourself to us and tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Sabine. I use any pronouns. I will play Soren Dahl, who uses he, him pronouns. Soren Dahl is a human Jedi. He is fairly young, and he calls himself a Jedi. He has had some training from his mother, who was a real Jedi, also maybe not a very good one. She escaped Order 66 because she was somewhere she wasn't supposed to be. And now she's running a bar somewhere in the Outer Rim, which is called the Mind Trick. She's not subtle. She didn't want her son to go out and bring peace to the galaxy or anything, so he stole her well, he borrowed her lightsaber and now he's out to bring peace to the galaxy, because that seems a fairly noble endeavor. Yes, and he has joined this group of probably also very noble individuals who will maybe help him or maybe not, who knows.
All of this seems relatively true, but terribly misguided. Is the best backstory. Alan, please introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hello, my name is Alan. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Draf Bale, also he, him. Draf is using, I'm using the Scoundrel playbook for Draf, and Draf, I think as it says in the documentation, something about my reputation. I count my reputation like any other resource, and I'm prepared to spend it if there's a possibility of a shady deal. And that explains why I am apparently an elder in the cult that sees Lin Lanid as a possible messiah, and I have taken a not insubstantial sum from the cult in order to conduct Lin Lanid on a mind broadening tour. Quite how much of that, I know he believes it, and I think they believe it, and I've got the money. So what else matters?
I'll believe whatever you can tell me as long as the credits keep flowing. All right. Last but certainly not least, Stephen, please introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Stephen. I use the he, him pronouns. Today I'm playing the bounty hunter Valrin Hito. She uses the she, her pronouns. And so she's an Iktochi, which are the guys with the horns, and has, some serious armor and, a few weapons. As I recall, she was after a bounty, went down to the planet with Draf and got into a big fight and then took off, but Valrin happened to, Draf happened to have grabbed the bounty and was headed off as well. He was helping.
Right.
And I have a starter session move.
Yes, you do. Before you roll that, I just want to tell you one quick thing. So, Steve, remember when you were talking about character creation? You're like, I wanted to find an awesome Iktochi, and you found that totally cool picture from Clone Wars Animated. I was just watching part of season 2 of Star Wars Resistance, and it turns out that Joe Manganiello, the guy who plays D&D and was in, he voices a character in the middle of second season who is a guy named Axe Tagrin, who's an Iktochi bounty hunter. Holy crap, he's bad. It's neat. So you should look up. I'll drop the name in chat. You can look it up at some point where you're not in a scene. What is your beginning of session move?
It is Moth to the Flame. Roll with tough. Let's see what I get. I got a 4, so that's not looking good. I'm thinking
on a
4
miss,
plus
the
2.
The MC holds 1 and can spend it at any time to put you in a very bad spot.
Didn't that happen last session too?
I mean, yes, the dice
yeah.
like you in bad spots, Fallen. I mean, what are we gonna do? It's just Duel of Fates or something like that. Awesome. So, as you guys have talked about in the spin-up, we have 2 separate scenes that are about to converge. The first one is on the beautiful space station in the planet of oh crap, Rich like spaced on the name. I had it a second ago.
Pergitor.
Pergitor. Yes, it's a letter short of purgatory, which I think is amusing. On the Church of Infinite Perceptions greeting station, a place where they receive visitors to the planet before they're allowed to head down to the surface. The Church of Infinite Perception this is a theocracy, Pergitor, and within this theocracy, they have mined Pergitor to the point where volcanic eruptions are frequent and there are very few safe spaces. Most of the mining that is continuing, despite the fact that it seems to be destroying the planet, is happening via droid activity. So up on that space station, Xena Thorne, a beautiful Zeltron, she had been trying to recruit Lynn Lenid and Soren Dahl to the Church of Infinite Perception. Lynn wasn't buying it. Soren wasn't super interested. And that was going relatively well. There was some nice crudités, some nice appetizers, finger foods, a few, non-alcoholic spritzers. And then this Rhodian with a cybernetic eye, who we know is named Mato Chatsa. He came in, blast a disruptor in hand, and started firing on Lynn Lenid. Nearly killed. In fact, we for a moment saw Xena Thorne being disrupted, but she was saved when Soren Dahl used the Force to push Xena as well as Lynn away, saving both of them. But then that disruptor bolt did hit the plexiglass kind of plastisteel window that was overlooking not the planet, because that looks kind of crappy, but the beauty of the galaxy, like here. And there was a little, like the little tiny crack that was spidering around and starting to grow larger and larger. We could hear the soft sound of depressurization, that threat looming. But you guys were doing okay. Soren Dahl, remind me, has Soren drawn his, ignited his lightsaber? I don't think he had.
Yeah, he did.
That's
He
right.
did. When the Rhodian came up, he ignited the lightsaber, and then he got disrupted anyway. So.
Yep. So we got a disruptor, we got a lightsaber. Everything seems to be going not great, and that's when Mato makes the brilliant decision. Hey, I don't think I'm going to win this fight because I hear an alarm going on. There are some of those the high upright armed clergy are on their way, and then he drew out a thermal detonator and pressed the button. It was in the process of pressing the button when we cut away. We'll pick the tape back up and just, I'm really curious what Soren's going to do. But at the same time, Draf and Valren had not only captured Onan Leach, a thug from Narkanji, a founding member of the Kanji Club gang, but they had also met with Utri Armi, the Bothan member of Lynn's people who had asked for assistance, the whole reason you were here. And all four of you had gotten onto the shuttle that Droff had rented and were headed back to the space station with Kanji Club members as well as the high upright armed clergy below you, when you heard a small voice of a small young voice say, "This is the most interesting shuttle I've ever been on." And that's when both of you look back to see a small, 5 foot tall Leppy. A Leppy it's Star Wars canon, so don't look at me. I love it. They're rabbit people, okay? There's a comic book with a guy named Jackson. He's awesome. He was green, but this is a dark black furred with this white stripe over her little button nose. And she is sitting there in a set of really loose fitting clothes, there's a poncho over top, and she's got her little hands underneath the poncho and looking around with these bright eyes, super interested in what's going on. And she's evidently some kind of stowaway that somehow ended up on your shuttle during all of the craziness that had gone on. So we stay with Draf piloting the shuttle away, trying to stay a step ahead of the communications of the Church of Infinite Perception. Only someone as bold or crazy as Draf Bale would try to stay ahead of a church that calls itself Infinite Perception. So you're headed towards the space station. They ask for your call sign before they allow you to land, Draf. How are you handling that? Blessed day, gentle being. This is control for the space station of the wonderful greeting of the Church of Infinite Perception. Please identify yourself so that we may allow you to land and embrace you.
Blessed day to you. And I have in my custody the person that I believe is responsible for stealing this shuttle. I am returning now to claim the bounty that I believe sits on their head. Details to follow. Please notify of a docking bay.
Sounds like you're trying to charm or deceive someone. Why don't you roll with Suave?
Okay, so Suave is 2. So
Yeah,
2d6
nice.
plus 2 can almost never go wrong, can it?
And I'll go ahead and mark the XP for you, getting that.
That's 11.
Nice! You are born for this stuff. Beautiful.
I'm a lovable rogue.
How blessed it is that you have brought this miscreant back to us. Thank you so ever much. Please land in docking bay number 3. Follow the nav points that I am laying out onto your course.
Thank you and blessed day.
And then you guys, look, there's an area that's like opening up. You have to kind of fly up and in, and then that drops down as you guys drop the shuttle's landing gear. And as you do, as soon as the doors, well, we probably should have a little conversation with all the people that are here. You have a passed out Leech, Onan Leech. You have
we do need a conversation. I need to have a conversation with Valran because
exactly
the arrangement in our working arrangement is that I get 40% of the bounty that she takes. Now technically I took this bounty, so I'm prepared to allow her the 40% of the bounty.
Carry on.
I didn't want there to be any confusion before we get on board the station.
How does Valran handle that?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I think Valran, so you say, well, it's my turn to take 60% because I actually grabbed Onan Leech and took off with him, right? And I'm like, oh, but I held off the rest of his crew. So I think that the dangerous part, if I hadn't done that, you would have in no way gotten the bounty.
That is very fair, Valran. So 50-50 seems fair.
50-50 seems fair. I agree. And tell me
let's face
about
it, if I hadn't acted with some initiative, you'd have come back in there and he'd have been gone.
True. Very true. So let's talk about the fare for the shuttle. If I recall, you said you had already hired the shuttle and that a cred was fair transportation.
Oh, indeed.
And now I'm hearing that you did not hire the shuttle.
Oh, no, don't worry about that. No, this is just to, this is just to give us an excuse to have him take him on board the ship, get away. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Great. Just as long as we're all clear that if there's any blame for the theft of a shuttle, we know where it lies.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's with Leech.
As long as the bounty still comes, I think we're good. Yes.
That's what I thought. Twinkle.
And I think cut into this back and forth every once in a while is Tabby just looking between the two of you and just nodding, very interested in this conversation. She's fascinated by this negotiation. She looks over at Utri, the Bothan, who just shrugs like, I don't know. He knows Draft, but he doesn't really know Valran. And then when the gangway drops down of the shuttle, you guys hear there's that the klaxon, the Star Wars style klaxon, because there is a blaster fight going on in a major part of it. And that's when we cut back. Soren.
Can I just say, I have to say to Valrun, I have a bad feeling about this.
Delightful. Soren.
want-
It seemed as if you had an idea.
Oh
perhaps.
yes, I really, really want to turn at this Rhodian and tell him that he really wants to give me the thermal detonator.
Ooh,
Please.
nice. So he's like holding on to it and he's about to let go, and it's doing that little very ominous beeping. It sounds like he might want to use the Force here.
I want to use the Force. Yes, I want to do the Jedi mind trick and use the Force, just so he will give me the thermal detonator, please, because I don't know. It seems like I can spend a Force point to trick or deceive a weak-minded person for a few moments. I can
That's
spend
correct.
a Force point to roll with advantage to coax someone.
Yeah, and I need to change that. I just realized that it's coax. It's actually charm or deceive someone. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, you go ahead, spend that Force point.
Yes. Okay.
And you can make the roll.
Do I roll with deep then because I'm using the Force, or do I roll with suave because I'm charming or deceiving?
That is a great question. I
mean,
think you should roll with deep.
Yes.
And
So do I, because I really think that's where my do I roll with advantage then because I'm using the Force? I mean,
you spin a Force point to roll advantage to.
Okay.
I don't know. Now I'm like, if you're rolling with advantage, do you also roll with deep? I don't know.
I'd probably rather roll with deep than with advantage, actually. It seems more appropriate, really. Rolling with advantage, that is kind of weird. I'd rather roll with deep and have.
All right, cool. So you may you can spend a Force point to trick or deceive a weak-minded person for a few moments.
Yes.
You can spend a Force point to roll with deep to charm or deceive someone.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Got it.
So I'm doing that.
Thanks for talking that through with me.
Yeah, sure. I'm rolling now.
Right.
Yes, I've rolled a 10. Thank you.
Nice.
I've rolled 12.
Wow. Okay, so on a 10 plus, they have to choose set skepticism aside and go along with you, or else call you a fool or liar to your face. He hesitates for a moment, not releasing that button, not detonating it, but he's the destroyer. He will lead the path to darkness.
Yes, but you want to give me the device, and then we can talk about this.
But he has to die.
Everybody dies sooner or later.
You hear the thumping of boots as the.
And I will slowly start taking the thermal detonator from him while I'm talking to him and tell him everybody's dying sooner or later. It doesn't have to happen today.
And as soon as the high upright armed clergy, 3 members come in, their face masks down, we can just see the slits of their eyes and then the little hinged part that comes down to cover over their face. And they come in with blaster rifles and they see that you're taking that away from the Rhodian. Xena says, this is the assailant. And Lynn, all of this is going on, and you see those spider cracks are growing. You hear like that little hissing sound. What are you doing, Lynn?
Lynn is looking around for his loth cat. Seeing that the thermal detonator's been taken away, he wants to get his pet, and he wants to get out of there.
Awesome.
And as far away from that window as possible.
Sweet. Yeah, that's no problem whatsoever. You grab up your loth cat. The loth cat quickly grabs several fruit slices and clutches it to its chest as you scoop up the animal and make your way towards the door. The clergy come in and they grab the Rhodian. Xena walks over and she taps a couple buttons on a console, and a little force shield forms around the window itself. protecting it from being vented to space. Draf and Valren, you've made your arrangements. You hear the klaxons that are going off. Valren, what are you doing?
So I think what I'm doing is I'm transferring our bounty Onan from the shuttle. I think I have him in, the cuffs, and I'm kind of directing him back towards the our ship. What was the name of our ship again?
The Bold Devil.
The Bold Devil. That's right. And in fact, I think I probably have like a what's the right word? A mouth, something that would block him from talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some kind of.
And walk him into the holding cell there on the Bold Devil. And I think that as I leave, I see Utri and Tebby, and I'm like, you should go with your friend, and kind of lean towards Droff and head on over to the Bold Devil. Or at least that's what I'm intending to do.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Now we've arranged, we've agreed the split. The Valorant can do that, but I do need a conversation with this Leppy, which is, well, look, kid, if you were looking to hitch a ride back up to the station, you can have this one on me. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
And then I go and I think I'll probably go to where we left Soren and Lynn having their theological conversation as a, light distraction.
Nice. Cool. All right. So Utri is probably going with you, Droff, would imagine. And Tebby is thankful for the free ride, and she will head off and probably never see her again. So Droff and Utri, the two of you, are headed down one of the hallways until you find Soren Dahl. Now in chat, we had a mention that Soren might want to pocket that thermal detonator that he had taken off.
That's easily possible. I mean, if they're very thorough and stuff like that, I wouldn't try. But if they're more concerned with the whole,
here's the deal: I need you to act under fire to pull this off. But Xena immediately says, "This young Jedi saved me, and so I'm going to allow you to roll with advantage." She's not covering for you. She's not aware that she's covering for you, but her good word definitely puts them in a much more trusting state. But still, there's the possibility.
Okay, I'll roll with advantage then. See if I can just pocket it. Yeah, no, wait. Oh, yes, I've got an 8.
Got an 8.
Yeah, I've
awesome.
got an 8. Yeah.
Cool. So on Act Under Fire, 7 to 9, you flinch, hesitate, or stall. The MC can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an unfortunate choice. So I'll allow you to keep that thermal detonator, but Lynn was trying to make his way out of here, and you're going to lose sight of him. And if you fuss over the thermal detonator, you'll lose sight of him.
Okay, I'll keep. I want to talk to Lynn actually more than I want to keep the detonator. So I'll just throw it. No, I mean give it to one of these peacekeepers or whatever they are, whatever they call. They have a pretentious.
The high upright armed clergy.
Right, the peacekeepers, and then I'll follow.
Sure, that sounds right.
I'll follow Lynn and try to catch up to him. I'm still bit injured, or pretty much injured actually, but I'm still trying to catch up to him and say, hey, wait up, what was that about?
I don't know. You saw him first. He came out of the crowd. What I don't know. We should get somewhere safe.
Yeah, well, we are somewhere safe now, but he said you were going to bring darkness and you had to die, which I do
you
not
think-
support,
you think-
obviously.
You think he was talking about me? It could have been other people in the church.
No,
maybe.
Lynn, he was definitely talking about you, Lynn. Come on. You
Yeah.
seem awfully kind of acting like you know what he was talking about, like you know something.
Yeah, I've never seen him before. I don't know what that was. I don't know why he would want to disrupt us. I don't know why he would want to hurt me. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, he said you were going to bring darkness and destruction. You are the destroyer.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
Okay, then we should maybe find out before more people come up and try to thermal detonate you to next system.
Yeah, Lynn's like really shooken up. I think he has never had anything like this happen to him in his life. You know, he's lived a very sheltered upbringing, and this is kind of his first experience out in the greater wide galaxy. And the second stop, somebody tried to blow him up. So he's just kind of like really shaken, and he's holding Cara Dune, and he just wants to get back on their ship. He doesn't want to be out here anymore. He knew it was a bad idea to come here, and this only proved it.
Yeah, well, Soren's pretty excited too. Nothing like that has ever happened to him. But instead of being totally nervous, he's totally focused. He's like, we have to do something now. So
this is great. It's the scariest moment of Lynn's life. It's the most exciting. It's the fulfillment of the greatest hope of one and perhaps the greatest fear of the other. And as the two of you are both having this conversation, Droff and Utri, you make your way down the hallway. You see Lynn holding Cara Dune, his Lothcat, and Sorendal. What do you do, Droff?
Well, I hope that wasn't too much of a fuss. We got back as quickly as we can. Sorry, just leave you like this, but I've got Utri. Let's go. Do I sense anything strange from them?
you can see that I've had a disrupted shoulder.
Oh, yes, you have. You've been shot. I've forgotten.
It's probably
hang on. What the frack happened to you?
I got shot.
There was a Rodian. He tried to disrupt me. Soren took the hit and he saved us. He saved me and the Zeltron, but he had a thermal detonator. He tried to draft. Why did we come here?
I didn't have a thermal detonator. I still don't.
I left you alone for maybe an hour.
And you shouldn't have. It was clear you shouldn't have, Draft. You shouldn't have left me alone.
Okay, just calm down. Where's this Rodian now?
Custody. By the
yeah, and I think as you have that conversation, you see the two clergy are like leading this Rodian away.
There's some.
Yeah.
Is there anything about the Rodian that I could recognize? I'm not sure there's a move for this, but I'm curious if I can.
Well, let's see. Maybe read
someone.
Yeah, when you read someone a charged interaction, roll plus canny.
So I'm rolling +2, and what I'm interested in is to find out something about this Rodian.
Okay.
So roll +1. Oh, so close. Oh no, 10. Hold 3. Okay. Are you telling me? What are you feeling? What are you thinking of doing? What do you hope it'll do? How could I get the Rodian? So I think, yeah, okay. So what I think we see Draft doing is just, standing in front of the upright clergy, just saying, oh, gentlemen, a moment. This individual has apparently taken a shot at my ward here. And so I think I deserve the opportunity to just, what are you playing at, Rodian? What's this about?
Nice. The Rodian says, I am Mato Chatsa. I am a member of the Upright Citizens. I will take down Lynn Lanid, who will lead everyone into darkness. He knows only the path to doom.
Okay. Are you telling the truth? Do they genuinely believe this, or is this just cover for something?
He is 100% convinced. He is not trained for this. He was handed some slightly unfamiliar weapons and sent off on this suicide mission.
Okay. How could I get you to tell me who sent you, or who your leader is?
Oh, he would have to be sure that that you're not going to go after his leader, right? I mean, he's fanatic about this. He was willing to throw down his life for this, so he's not going to roll over on that if he thought that there was any threat whatsoever to his.
And that young man is an admirable characteristic. And it just does seem to me that if I am indeed traveling with the bringer of the darkness, I might want to just discuss this with the man in charge. So just between you and me, who is he and where do I find him?
And there's a moment of uncertainty on the Rhodian's single remaining eye. And then we cut away from that scene. Valrin, you have secured Onan Leech, who you're only going to get half the bounty for. What is your space on the Bold Devil like? Do you think that maybe you have some place that's near whatever they fancied up to be the brig, or what does it look like on the ship where you were securing Onan Leech? Oh, you're muted.
I think that I'm not a stupid bounty hunter. I like the idea that I have like one of those. It's sort of like a cargo area that I've taken over. It's a smallish kind of area, but it's one of those carbonite freezing chambers like what we see on The Mandalorian, where
Yes.
this guy gets put into a slab and he's frozen up against the wall. And I think I have my personal space, I think, is basically a bunk with like a spot leading in where I have like a closet on one side full of weapons and a place to hang up my armor on the other side. So it's relatively small, but I think as soon as I get done with Onan Leech and kind of hang him up on the wall, I think I'm going to head back to where Droff is, because
Sure, I know that's probably what you want to do.
Yeah.
So but I get to put you in
Oh.
a spot. Which
yeah.
So you carbonite freeze Onan. Maybe you kind of slide that out and put it up on some hook like a Mandalorian, and then you hear the sound of something like roll along the corridor, and you hear whing, whing, and you glance down. It's like a flash bomb. It's a flash grenade, and all you see is white. You are completely blinded. What do you do?
I hit the floor, and I roll to the side until I hit the wall. This kind of leading to where my bunk is, and try to clear my vision, listen, but I think everything's I can't hear anything at the moment, but I'm trying to stay out of the way until my vision can clear.
Cool. It's very loud. Everything hurts for a few moments as you're waiting for your vision to clear. And then you hear a soft voice say, "I'm going to take this bounty, okay? I have this set to stun."
And I say, well, you can, that makes sense. But, you have to understand that, there might be some trade-off going here. And not all the bounty's mine, but, sure, we can. Are you even a member of the guild? Can you trade in the bounty? Are you sure?
This will be my first.
This will be your first. I see. Well, it won't speak well with the guild that someone else did most of the work for you, But I mean, I think that's fine. At this point, what I'm literally doing is just trying to chat her up until
you clear your head. Let's see if you can charm or deceive her to buy into this.
And what is that with? Oh,
it
doesn't matter.
with...
I rolled snake eyes.
Yeah. So when you charm, you roll with suave. So even with so there we go. Yeah, I think she's gonna stun you.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. So yeah, she realizes what you're doing, and she's like, "Oh, you're clever." Whop! We see the concentric rings of blue go around you, and then we will pick up with Droff, Soren,
I'm like
and
the
Lynn.
most useless bounty hunter ever.
You're not. Oh no, I don't want you to feel that way. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm fine with that. It's just sequence of events, huh? Look at that.
Yeah, you've rolled some bad rolls. It's a bad day. It's all it is. It's a bad day. I mean, even Mando got shit stolen by his Jawas, so it can happen. All right, Poodoo stolen. Sorry. All right, I didn't even think about the whole Easter and the bunny part. That makes me more brilliant, though. I totally thought of it. Cool. So you had this conversation with Rodian, and you're trying to tease him into telling you something, to revealing who might be the leader behind this upright citizens thing. And he says,
I think I'm muted.
Speak with Baku Tarask. He will tell you the truth about the one that you follow. Baku.
Thank you, officers. He has nothing to say.
They grab him up, and he seems surprised for a moment, but then he thinks, "Oh yeah, we've got a thing going on because you totally charmed it." So he's like, "Yes, I've done my job," and he's very excited now, even though he's about to be, imprisoned for trying to murder people on a Church of Infinite Perception, not known for its infinite mercy. Draff, you can grab Lynn and head back to the ship if you want. Anything else you want to do?
I think, if Lynn's at risk, we need to get somewhere secure, which is, the ship is entirely secure. No one can get onto it or off it without being, so Valron's probably already there, and that's the logical, safe place to go.
Awesome. Yeah. Soren, Xena slips down the corridor, and she reaches up and she grabs your arm, your uninjured arm. She says, Soren, please, may we speak for a moment? I can tell that you are leaving, but you're still hurt.
Well, it's not. It's what do you want? I really want to get to my
life. At least let me use a med kit, some PbtA gel, and I can help you.
I mean, she's pretty young, my mother's son, so I guess I'll wave to Draff, like, I'm coming, I'll wait for me, I'll come after, I'll follow, and then I, of course, will go with her.
Cool. And she leads you down a side passageway and into a little room. Turns out it's like her quarters. And
okay.
And it's all like the stark white, like behind me, and there's like this little kind of slide out cot bed type deal. And she hits a button. And she goes, have a seat there. You may need to remove your shirt so I can help you with the wound. And she goes over and opens up this little like medicine cabinet thing.
I think I want to pierce your pierce your mask or something.
To pierce a read to someone. Go ahead and read someone.
Yeah, I'll try to read someone. What do I use?
Just so we're clear, when you read someone in a charged interaction, are we saying that this interaction is now charged?
Maybe, is it? I don't know. I'm not that
canny.
Me.
It seems like maybe you are.
Yes,
Go ahead.
I think it's a little charged.
I think I want to find out if it's charged. So, yeah, I'll go and roll with canny. I have a 6. So, it's not charged at all. Everything is totally fine.
Awesome. On a miss, the MC might have you ask one anyway, but be prepared for the worst. Go ahead and ask whatever question you would like from the list.
Yeah, the question I would actually ask is, what are you thinking of doing? Or maybe it's what you hope I'll do.
Ooh, yeah. What do you?
Yeah, it's probably that. What do you hope I'll do?
Well, ultimately, she hopes that you'll join the Church of Infinite Perception, because having a Jedi amongst the Church of Infinite Perception would be the crown jewel in the organization. And if she recruited you, it would be wonderful. So she turns around. She's got a little med kit, and she puts it on the cot beside you. She drops down to one knee and gently starts to try to ease open. I imagine you have like the Jedi little cloak thing. So she'll try to ease it open.
Something that looks a bit like a Jedi cloak thing. I have only vague ideas about how the Jedi used to look. It's
exactly. Yeah, stuff that you've seen on the Hollows.
I look like a person cosplaying as a Jedi.
And while there's some like intimacy here, she doesn't touch you in any inappropriate way, and she will heal you. She does use some Bacta gel, and the Bacta gel is not a spray as much as like an ointment, and so we get to, she like rubs it on your shoulder, and we see the blackened skin start to heal. And Sorendal, you may go ahead and heal both of those harms. You're now at 0 harm.
I will. I appreciate that very much, and I will tell her so.
She says, I know you're here with your friends who you have protected as you did me. Is it possible, if I were to secure you a ship to return to them, that you could stay here just a little longer? I would like to learn about how you see the Force.
I am afraid I have to go with them right now. I think Lynn might still be in danger.
And then she kisses you.
Oh, okay. That's okay. That's cool. Kissing is fine.
Nice. Kissing happens, and we'll cut away from that. You guys, Draf and Utri and Lynn, you guys all come on to the Bold Devil, and you see the unconscious Valrin laying on her back near the area where she normally like frosts people up. What do you do?
I think that this is probably fade to black with the kiss.
Oh yeah, I'd cut away
and
from
then
that.
and then come back, and the view is Draf and Lynn leaning over, saying, "What happened?"
2 questions, Rich. Do I know Utri? Does Lynn know Utri, or is Utri
Utri's a member of your people.
I just wasn't sure if I knew all of the members of my people, or if he was a guy who like, I heard the good word, and I didn't have anything to do with it.
He called out for help, so I think you had some kind of connection, because he was our excuse of why you came to Pergitor originally. So I think you know him.
Okay. So as soon as Valerin's stunned on the ground, Lynn kind of like freezes up and puts his back against a wall, like he's looking around.
Nice. Thank you so much for coming to get me, Lynn. And you too, Draf.
So there's a kind of Valrin.
Oh, crap.
What did you do? Have you cashed that friggin' bounty in already?
It was the weapon. She took it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must have misheard. Did you just tell me that a small rabbit girl took a member of the Kanji Club from you?
I'm saying that a small rabbit girl got onto your secure ship and did harm.
Oh, so this is my fault.
I'm saying that your ship isn't as secure as you had thought. And you're right. She got the drop on me. Shouldn't have happened. We will teach her.
It's because you were alone. Draf, you're leaving people alone and things happen to them. Bad things happen to them when you leave them alone.
I left you with Soren.
Where's Soren?
I really am getting too old for this.
Utri answers, he's with a Zeltron.
Well, that can't lead to anything good.
She was trying to convert us pretty hard to the Church of but I told her the good word of our path, Utri. What was going on? Why did we have to come save you?
Oh, maybe perhaps we should take off before we have this conversation. Do either of you have a comm link to Soren?
Well, I have other business here. I have a little rabbit to find.
You're gonna hunt down the bounty?
I'm going to head that direction depending on how long we're going to stay here.
I think Lynn's kind of okay with you walking off because he wants to talk with his people. Like he wants to have a conclave here of what's going on.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go search after Tebby.
Oh yeah.
Because she
Yeah,
couldn't have gotten
buddy.
too far dragging hauling a carbonite frozen bounty. I mean,
It's super obvious what she's doing. She may have been able to sneak on the ship, but that was because it was just her. Now yeah, you're totally right. I think perhaps you've got to move for this.
oh,
Don't you?
field bulletin.
Oh
No.
man, so going hunting doesn't exactly do that. That's right. There's another one, Bloodhound. Oh, that's right. You don't have that one.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. You don't have Sniff the Wind yet. All right, there's no problem. No problem. Let's have you. I think maybe. So I'm looking in at our possible moves just to see what we've got here. Maybe you need to trust your feelings.
Ooh. Okay.
You trust your feelings and what they're telling you. Roll with deep. On a hit, you gain new insight into your current situation. Take +1 forward acting on it.
That's a 5.
So you know that this website works for most everyone because your dice literally hate you.
That's true. Yeah. But I'm getting SP, so yeah. But yes. Oh.
Man, that is the worst. I think what happens is you realize, oh man, she let you guys take her up on the shuttle. Did she have something here? And then you go to check all the docks and you find that there's one hangar bay where the door is opening up and you're looking through the door and you see this little like single person starfighter that's dropping down and then you see through the cockpit, you see it's waves.
And we had the very Star Trek, shoo.
Yep. She totally
Nice. I'm going to see if I can't throw a tracker on it.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. I don't know. Let's see. Is that a going blazing? I don't think so. Let's just have you act under fire. Let's see if you can pull that off in time. Yeah.
So I rolled a 6. Act under fire is with cool, so that makes it a 7.
Okay, on a 7 to 9, flinch, hesitate, or stall. You have to actually like step into the possible vacuum because the door is opening. So there's a risk there of you taking some harm. Are you willing to risk it?
Oh yeah. So I think what this looks like is there's actually like a partial shield to hold the atmosphere in.
Yep.
And I step through it and you see like the blue thing form around me as there's a little bit of shield around the helmet that kind of pops down, and I fire. I pull out a weapon and I fire at the ship, and this little, round disc pops out and goes, and attaches to the side of the ship. But at the same time, you can see that I'm getting pulled out towards the vacuum, and I grab a hold of the, edge of the, doorway and start to try and pull myself back in. You want me to take a harm?
Yeah, let's go ahead and have you we'll call it, because you do have armor, we'll just call it harm 0. So if you roll badly, then something else could potentially
What?
happen.
Roll badly? So I rolled a 6. Yeah.
Okay. And okay. So if you suffer harm, roll minus the harm you suffered on a 10 plus, on a 7 to 9. On a miss, the MC chooses one. You're out of action, unconscious, trapped, incoherent, or panicked. It's worse than it seemed, take an additional harm. Yeah, so I'll have you take a single harm from basically the cold of space. It is painful. Maybe it leaves you with a little scar. Think about, what kind of scar you might hold from doing this crazy maneuver. And
Yeah.
I like that a lot. So what's this conversation that Lin Lanid wants to have with his people?
So now that it's just, the people, now that it's just Bale and Utri, Lynn's gonna say, Utri, why did you call us out here? Did it have anything to do with the assassin? I was attacked. They said I was gonna be darkness. How'd they know we were here? What happened?
I'm very sorry that you were attacked, Lin. I'm glad that you're well. The reason that I was here is that this planet, I have suspicions, as do several of the other elders among your people, that they are not mining for ore any longer. They are searching for something in the planet's core.
What is that? I don't understand why that would affect us. Our Utri, our path is outward. It is into the unknown regions. It is where we will go next. What does this planet have to do with us?
Yes, you are correct. Of course, as always, Lin Lanid. But within the core of Pergitor, there is an ancient star drive. I believe that they have found it. It could carry us farther than any hyperdrive currently in production.
Oh, I see. As I see all things, of course. Interesting.
With your guidance, we could fold space with this star drive and travel across the galaxy with ease. If the Church of Infinite Perception gets their hands upon it, it would not go well for anyone. I had hoped to disprove the fears that my fellow elders had about this, but I believe that it's true, that there is a star drive here. That is why they are rooting to the core and destroying this planet day by day. They may have found it.
Elder Bale, did you know about this?
I don't think I'm part of this conversation because I am very frustrated.
You walked away?
I walked away. And I think I'm probably, clattering, the equivalent of clattering pots of pans about, 5 credits. Poof. Just poof. But I am processing what I've been told. So I would like to, what is my gut telling me about Lin Lanid? What's that called?
Oh, trust your feelings?
Trust my feelings.
Bale, do you no longer trust me? Have you been activated by this fanatic?
I just feel the need to just what do I think's going on? I think is what I want to know. So deep is -1, so 2d6 -1.
Okay, let's see how this goes.
Oh, that's still a 7.
Nice.
That's remarkable. On a certain, it's vague and foreboding. Oh, great! I'm really glad I thought about it now.
You see this image of Lin Lanid seated in the Bold Devil, and you see this shining silver engine has replaced your hyperdrive. And there's this maniacal look on Lin's face as he plugs in the coordinates. You guys blast off into oblivion. Not forever, but oblivion.
Yeah.
That's a 7 to 9, so it's vague and foreboding.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that I am concluding that Yeah, there might be something to this. And I may be in over my head here. What seemed like a very simple con of some rural backwater cult is turning into a pit. And I am getting too old for this.
So, Utri, a star drive. Do you what do you want the four of us? I mean, I shouldn't be involved. It's
Shouldn't be
me.
involved. It's all for you, Lynn.
Of course, but should I be
you.
the one here? Should I be the? Unless, of course, we could talk to the church, the peerless sites, or whatever they call themselves. They have a good thing going. They understand the importance of looking ahead, but they don't know how to take the next step. Maybe we can bring them around. Maybe they can take the next step with us.
You could offer them the salvation that they seek. Yes, this is an excellent plan, Lynn. Absolutely, that is why you're here.
Otherwise, why would I, the Star Seer, the Wayfinder, the Sky Guider, what would I do with this? This is unnecessary. But perhaps that is the purpose. That was our first path. The first path is to bring more into our fold. Is to grow the people of the future step. Perhaps. He kind of starts, thinking, petting his loft cat. He's given a moment. When he is surrounded by just believers, Lynn has a little bit more pep in his step about his capabilities. It's
a little bolder, a little crazier. I love it. Cool. So we'll cut away from that to Soren Dahl. Now, we do have an intimacy move. Thank you guys for reminding me that in the drama moves, there's a intimacy move as well as a death move.
Where would I find that?
It is on row 62, Soren Dahl.
On row 62.
Yeah, there are two
on my,
moves listed on there. Yeah.
Okay, where's 62?
When you share a moment of vulnerability.
Oh, yeah. When you die. No, when I share a moment, someone tell them about something you find beautiful in the galaxy. If they agree with you, both mark improvement. Well, okay, I'm a pretty young guy, so I'm pretty impressed if pretty girls, yeah, everything's pretty here. If a pretty girl is, being with me, being intimate with me, and I will, of course, then tell her that what I really find beautiful in here is that it centers. Sometimes when you're with a person and they're good for you, it centers you. You get to feel yourself as you should be. That there's this shining one moment when you are all one with yourself, and when you're this one with yourself, I feel that you're kind of one with the force as well, because there is the force between us, you and me, and everyone really. But right now, it seems to be a bit stronger between you and me.
Oh, she laughs slightly, and the smile touches her eyes, and she absolutely agrees. You may mark improvement. That's not an XP, but a full improvement, because that is an intimacy move, and that is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And I think you step out into the hallway, maybe like readjusting your not quite Jedi robe when you run into Valren.
Yeah, I have a bit of, I have a bit of an afterglow. I'm very calm, seem very collected, but also I seem pretty happy with myself, tell you the truth.
Nice.
Oh, hey, Valren, you look a bit banged up.
And I think I'm limping a little bit, and I'm like, I just gotta get a read on a ship. It'll be fine. Yeah, and maybe we should, are you sure that we should probably head out soon? Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go, but you look like you could need some kind of, I don't know, help.
Yeah. I mean, sure. Are you good with helping tracking down things? I mean, obviously I'm not doing that well, so yeah.
Well, I am good with trusting in the force that it would lead me in the right path, and right now it appears it has led me to you, who seems to be injured. So
Okay. Are you offering
gather-
PbtA?
I'm offering something a little more personal than PbtA. Give me your hand, Valran.
And I think Valran looks at you strangely and reaches out and says, okay. It's a gloved hand.
Okay. Okay, right, but the force is still there.
Okay.
The force doesn't mind the glove.
Yeah.
So I think I will try to force heal you, which I can do because I have the
Force
move.
healer. Yeah.
Yes,
that's
I'm
nice.
a force healer, and I will spend 2 of my force points to heal you. To just, I think you will feel what you will feel then is that there is some sort of warmth that goes into you from Soren. Soren has closed his eyes and is not looking particularly at anything, but you can feel you can feel just the warmth and the force of life just flowing into you and taking the pain and the exhaustion of your wounds
Nice.
with it, like the cold of space that bit you kind of warmed up. That's okay.
And I think Valran just kind of attributes this, it's nice to have a good friend here. And your presence is welcome. And she kind of sits up a little bit straighter, stands up a little bit straighter, and says, I'm glad to have your help, Soren. Let's see if we can't find out where our quarry is gone.
What are we looking for? I think I missed out a few steps here.
We're looking for a little despicable rabbit girl.
Oh, what's she done that's so despicable?
She took what's rightfully ours from the ship.
That's not
No.
very nice of her.
Yeah.
We should give her a stern talking to.
Oh,
Then wink at you. I'm not really serious about that. I know you're a bounty hunter.
right. Oh, we'll do more than talk.
Okay.
Okay. So I think is that a good scene?
Yeah, I think that's a good scene. Let's
Good.
go and find that rabbit girl.
And just because we've now seen a really fun intimate move, don't forget that in the drama moves you have a when you die and an intimacy move. Like Valren, when you open up to someone, you can tell them a secret fear. If you do, they have to do the same. For Lynn, when you open up to someone, you inspire them and take one hold on them because when the hold to help them from any distance. And then Droff, when you open up to someone, we're all going to pass out. But the rule says when you open up to someone, hold one on them when they're next in trouble. You can spin the hold to show up in the nick of time. So just a thing that I wanted to highlight because I haven't done a good job of highlighting it. And it was super fun when we saw Soren. So that is out there. I think with that scene ending, it seems like it's a good midpoint bio break. If everybody's cool with that. And so, yeah, just to think and also rich thinking, I think we've got 2 divergent paths here. We've got Valren who wants to go after the quarry. Maybe Droff's interested in that 5 cred and recovering it. And we've got Utri motivating Lynn to like, hey, maybe we take over this church and you can have a star drive. And that's good. So those are the 2 things I see right now in front of us. So let's see you guys in as it's 24 after, like 6-7 minutes. We'll see you around half past.
Hey, Rich. Real quick,
What's
I'm
up, Chris?
thinking it might be a good idea to roll the start of session move for Lynn.
Whoops.
Well, I thought it might not matter too much, or it might not come into play, but it just seems like right now in the situation we're at with, he has another, one of his people and Draft, that it might be useful to kind of see where the power dynamic is between the three of them.
Yeah.
At
We should, and we
least.
should. That's a cool move. We should definitely always do that. So, go ahead and roll it while we're
Okay.
gathering back together.
All right, so it's roll plus cool. My cool is -1, very, very strong, very powerful. But I get 10, so 9.
On a 7 to 9, they offer you all of their devotions, but choose one demand.
All right, so I choose the demand.
That is unclear. Let's take a look
Yeah.
at your demands.
Sure. So I have a cult. Their demand is teaching, and elders. Their demand is obedience.
Yeah. I think they really want you to be all in on the star drive. And by they, I mean your one elder who's here. Utri.
Right. Exactly. But Draft is another elder. And so having the two of them perhaps, not agree on what obedience means might be fun.
It might be. It probably will be.
We need to talk about elder.
Don't you also have a start of session move?
It's a startup session or a break in play. I want to find out where we're going, and I may try to define something about the port of call we're heading to.
That's good.
But I'd quite like for us to sort out, because I'm for the wabbit.
Take that improvement.
No, I couldn't possibly.
Weird. You say you couldn't possibly, but I see the boxes all filling right now. What are you're clicking everything?
Sneaky. Yeah, so you guys are at Pergitor, and someone has absconded with your prey, and we also have this elder Utri who wants Linlin to remain and try to influence the Church of Infinite Perception to his ways and also obtain the star drive. So is this a conversation we have on the ship? Because I think Soren and Valren should return.
Yeah, I imagine us all on the ship, around that one of those round little tables.
Oh, right. Where there are these holographic animal thingies hitting each other.
For instance.
Little Dejaric game going on. This sounds good. I love it.
And look. And I just have this sudden picture of Corey surrounded by a mass of Star Wars merchandising.
You are not wrong.
Cody's like playing Dejaric on the side. Oh, that's so good.
So look, colleagues, we need to get the rabbit. There's a matter of honor here. Valren, has been embarrassed. We can't have that go unanswered. And we know where she's going because we know where we'd have cashed in the bounty. And the bold devil can get there faster than her if we leave now.
I'm up for leaving now. And then I thought you said you were on a round tour or something, and now you're going to stick around at the first place? That seems vaguely interesting.
Soren, you missed some of the intricacies of the interest, if you catch my meaning. While you were off, Utri here, he is a member of my people, and he has brought great news to us. And I think you will find it interesting as well, Soren. Utri, would you explain the situation to our friends Valren and Soren here? Do not get me wrong, my friends. I understand the importance of the credits and how that will fund my continuous grand tour. And I, of course, must be obedient to all of the elders of my people. But perhaps the great unseen guided us to this point for a purpose. And in fact, it was Utri here who called us here in the first place, which allowed you to have a bounty to get Valorant. So perhaps we just listen a little bit to Utri and see what he has to say about the importance, because clearly we're guided here. Anyways, I'm rambling.
Thank you so much for that brilliant introduction, Linlid. Thank you all for coming to rescue me. I have been here seeking the truth of why the Church of Infinite Perception continues to drill and dig into Pergitor, and I have found strong evidence that leads me to believe that they are seeking an ancient device called the Star Drive. The Star Drive allows one to travel at a speed that far exceeds the greatest hyperdrive that you have ever seen. It folds space. With a Star Drive, Linlid will be able to fulfill his destiny. He does the hand gesture too. Destiny.
Excuse me? What is his destiny? I mean,
he will show us the path, the true enlightenment, to explore the stars,
yes,
to
but
expand the galaxy.
But if he's going to show you the path, is seeking an abbreviation of the path the right way to go? Because it seems to me that sometimes the path is the most important part of the journey, and the Star Drive seems like it would shorten the journey.
I understand your point, and you're arguing an interesting matter of semantics in its own way. But perhaps the path is the Star Drive. If I fulfill my purpose and find the path for my people, I find if the Star Drive is the path, and I give it, then I have fulfilled my destiny. I've given them the path. The path is the Star Drive. Where they go, the destination, the journey, that is for my people to decide when we get there. But the path is the means by which we get there. It could be a journey.
But where?
Where? Well, that's what I'm on this grand tour.
Shouldn't you find out where to go before you figure out how to go?
That's one way of looking at it, really. I don't know yet exactly what my purpose and my destiny is. That was the point of this whole grand tour, is to experience the galaxy at large. But here we have found perhaps purpose with this Star Drive.
I'm looking at Bale and saying, I think I am too young for this poodle.
Okay, kid. Look, there's what we'd like to do, and there's what we have to do. And you'd like to hang about here and look for a Star Drive. But the hard truth is that I have the keys to the starship.
I think at that point, Valorant stands up, walks over towards the door, and kind of raises a hand.
The people recognize Valorant?
Oh, not to speak, to catch. Right?
Peace.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. I misread the. Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
And as we sit here, having this, what in normal circumstances, Lynn, would be a fascinating philosophical discussion, the wabbit is getting away.
Bale, I don't understand.
Fire up the drive.
Bale, I don't understand. Did the church, did the people not fund you well enough that you must scrounge for every measly credit? I don't understand. Do not get me wrong. I really do appreciate having you here, Valorant. You would be a great asset to us to keep us safe. But you weren't keeping me safe when someone tried to disrupt me. You were off seeking greed, and you were with him, Bale. And I just don't understand why this is the path you choose. Bale, I thought you were one of the people. I thought you meant for this.
Yes, kid, and that's what you were supposed to think.
No.
Valrun, fire up the drive. We're out of here.
Are we abducting Lynn now? Just checking where we're at?
Soren, would you leave him somewhere on his own?
Okay, I get your point. Yes.
I'm a businessman, not a child murderer.
Oh, Lynn, you might remember that the people who want to murder you are also on that station. Just saying, maybe
Lynn,
getting away from there is a good idea.
Lynn's gonna stalk off with his loft cat, and he kind of looks back. He says, "Well, it doesn't seem like the people here have much good for me either."
Ooh, now I'm curious. It felt like you were making a show of passion here. Do you?
Yeah,
got this move?
the incandescent rule.
It felt
I
like you were
guess.
on the doorstep of it, so I just wanted to check in. That's a cool move. And
It
it's the
is,
first
but
time we saw.
it really, I think it's interesting that movie. You know, I think I was doing that, but the mechanics of that move is that I command their attention, and I think I did. I think I commanded all of their attention. They were focused on me, but it doesn't necessarily, convince them of anything. And so,
Fair.
I think it's less like, I don't know. To my mind, it feels like less of a player move and more of a NPC move where I can kind of manipulate folks that way.
You can also diffuse fights and really cool
right.
stuff
Yeah,
like that
I thought about
well.
using it for the thermal detonator, but I think in this instance, he got what he wanted, which was everyone's attention to listen to him. But he realizes that perhaps the integrity of the path isn't as strong as he thought in the other members of his crew, which is fine.
Okay, cool. Just want to check in. That's fascinating. It sounds like the thugs are making you guys go after Tebby. Is that where we're headed? Just checking in. Utri is not happy about this at all. He will come. He's not going to try to fight against Draff and Valrin, but he is going to try to talk to you privately, Lynn, afterwards. So you leave with the loft cat and maybe head to your nice quarters, which are probably nicer than the other quarters on the Bull Devil. And he comes in, and Cara Dune hops out of your arms and comes over, and she starts kind of circling around Utri. And it does the thing where the tail curls around his leg. She seems affectionate towards the Bothan. He says, "It seems that you are traveling on and will leave the Church of Infinite Perception and this star drive behind for now?"
It seems that way, Utri.
You are the one who will choose the path.
It doesn't seem to be the case here, but I don't know. I don't think. Did you hear Bale back there? I don't think he believes in the path. I don't know if he's one of us, Utri. I'm not sure I should be here anymore. Do you have a snack or something? Cara Dune only does that when she's hungry.
I checks his pockets. No, I do not believe I do. And then he bends down, and Cara Dune hops into his arms, and he just idly pets it, fur on fur. I would like to remain at your side, Lynn Lynid, while you take this path until you choose another. If the star drive is not your destiny now, then so be it. I am disappointed, but I also understand that the Church of Infinite Perception is very dangerous.
Utri, do not be disappointed in me. This is not my doing. You fail to, perhaps in your inability to perceive the path as I see it, you do not realize that we are on someone else's. I do not have my own starship, Utri, and for some reason our people trusted me with Bale. And so we must go where he leads, it seems, or else be strong-armed by thugs, by this bounty hunter and the boy with the laser sword. Now, this star drive, it sounds like it could be the path, and that's great, but perhaps we're not ready to talk with the Church of the Peerless Infinite Wisdom, or whatever the hells they're calling themselves. The point is that maybe later, maybe when they find the star drive, it'll be easier to convince some of their lot to join in with us than the whole church. I don't know. Utri, please leave me be.
Nice. And he will let you dismiss him. And yeah, he still wears that little expression of disappointment. But he realizes that there's not much progress he's going to make here. So yeah. So we will move on. Right?
Can I just turn to Draft and ask him like, how did you ever manage to become an elder of this cult exactly?
Would it be possible for me to get us out of the station with Valron on the bridge and then have that conversation with Soren?
Okay.
Because I imagine now that Valron and I are on the bridge, and you know, I'm slapping panels, and you know,
yeah, I'm patient. I'll wait, but I will want an answer.
Yeah, no,
because I'm
I'll
really
give you one. I just
really
need to think of it.
curious.
And I say to Valron, so you know, are we on the same page here?
We grab the bounty. We thank her for carrying it for us this far. We turn it in. We come back. We take the drive.
And this is business. This mystical theological stuff. You know, that was something I needed to do at the time. So this is business, yes?
This is business.
Okay. I'd like to suggest that I have opened up to someone. When I open up to someone, hold one on them. When they're next in trouble, you can spend the hold to show up in the nick of time.
Nice. And you've
Is that
opened.
okay?
So you've opened up to Valron, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure I understood the direction. I thought I did, but I'd rather ask.
Yeah. Okay. And then I think I'll say something like, just watch the autopilot for a while, and I'll leave the bridge and perhaps bump into Soren.
Cool.
Sorry.
Before we leave that, I'd like to make a roll on Bloodhound. To head in that direction, just so we kind of know where we're going and how badly it is. Okay, is that good?
Yeah, I love it. Let's do it. Okay. Roll plus canny.
Well, that's a 6. So now we can think about what's going on and have the scene with Soren. Yeah.
All right then. Dang your dice, man.
Oh dear. I always admire you sticking with your solid dice, Steve. Okay. Oh, Soren, I was coming to look for you.
Yeah, well, I was actually I wanted to ask you something about the whole cult of Lindenit, and how did you come to be an elder of that cult? You don't forgive me if I am if I am damn, I don't forget the word. If this seems, it doesn't seem to be, you don't seem to be the type.
I didn't get to be as old as I am today, Soren, without having a number of types. Look, I'm not in this for the cause. I'm in it for the money. And you know, they're a bunch of backwaters. They needed someone to hold Lynn's hand and drive him around for a while. I was very happy to kind of toe the party line. But the truth is that I don't believe in very much.
Why did you drag him along then? He wanted to stay.
Don't get me wrong. You know, I set out with the best of intentions, but you have to understand that there's business here.
Well, you have to understand that business isn't more important than people to me.
Okay, Soren. You know, I'm not going to kick him out the airlock or anything. You know, I like the kid, but he's got this stuff going on in his head.
Yes, and he has people blowing stuff into his head all the time, like his destiny and things like that. I don't know if I believe in that. I believe in the Force, and maybe he has a destiny, but I don't think that he, right at this point, is prepared for it, or even prepared to get prepared, if you understand what I mean.
Well, look, I think we're on the same page, Soren. What I think is he needs someone who's near his own age to talk to about this kind of stuff, because, you know, he's had a bunch of grey bearded loonies whispering in his ear since he was able to understand what they were saying.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so
I don't think
you
I
know,
am the right person, though. I am a Jedi. I believe in a lot of mystical mumbo jumbo. You understand that, right?
yeah, and you know,
Okay, you
belief is
don't
a
understand
powerful
that.
thing, but I just think there's a difference between belief and fanaticism, Soren.
Yeah,
And I'm
okay.
worried the kid's just tripping over the edge of that.
Yeah, that's my feeling as well.
So look, you know, my cards are on the table. You know, we'll get the bounty, and then we'll carry on the world tour, maybe. The tour of the galaxy that he set out for. I don't want to kind of, you know, mess with the kid too much.
Okay. Okay, I guess I go and maybe try.
We're on the same page?
No, we are not, but I think I know where on the page you are, and you know where on the page I am. And I hope we can still make it work.
And I think that's a very fine place for a friendship to start, Soren. I've really, really appreciated this chance to have a chat.
Please don't do that to me, Trav. I mean, come on, I've seen your work, people.
Okay. Sorry. When you get to be my age, there are certain behaviors just trip out. I you know, what can I tell you? But, you know, I like you.
I like you too. It's weird. I don't even know why, but kind of do.
And I think that's seen.
Yeah. Yes.
I think I may have opened up to Soren.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And one day I will tell you what I find beautiful about the galaxy, and then you can say, oh no, I only like money.
And then there'll be no improvement for anyone. So sad. All right. So do we cut forward to you guys coming out of hyperspace at Adarlon? So Adarlon's in the Minos cluster still. So you guys have, this is traveled. Oh, finger. Yes.
Yes, I'd like to talk to Lynn. We don't need to have the whole conversation played out, but just to say that I'm going to him and I'm listening to him and I'm petting his cat and trying to get him to see.
I want to see this. What's it like?
I actually, I don't think Lynn opens the door for anybody. I think once he sends Utri out, he locks up and just sits on his own for the entire trip. He's being a little bit of a petulant kid, but also a hurt guy. So Soren knocks on the door.
Yeah, and if he doesn't open up, I will at one point get Balron to open the door, because there have to be controls. And I don't want to cut through the door. But this is the kind of behavior that my mother would never tolerate.
Oh, that's great.
My door was closed for a reason, Soren. What do you want?
I think I wanted to talk to you. And I sit down, pretty calm. I think you are very emotional right now.
Soren, you're very wise to notice such a thing.
And I think I will want to help you. Because right now you are very much guided by your emotion, by your fear, and by your anger. And that will not lead you to a good place.
Now, Soren, I can't help but maybe ask you a question. Do you understand why I may feel the way I feel right now? You seem like you had a similar story in your past, that you were told not to do something and then you did it, right? You went on it, you stole, you took something that didn't belong to you, and then you went out and you did it.
Yes, I did.
And here I am, stuck in here because these my people decide what I need to do, when I need to do it, and then they tell me. And then when I try to do it, when I try to be what they want from me, they tell me no. So exactly what can you help me with, Soren?
I understand your point, and you're right. It is the same thing. My mother was always telling me what to do, and when I wanted to do it, then she told me, no, you're too young, you can't do it. until one day I took the initiative and just did it. I'm not saying you should now try to take over this ship, but I'm saying that you should decide on what you want to do and then figure out a way to do it, instead of waiting for some elders to tell you where or what to do.
Lynn, let's see here. I'm trying to think if Lynn is interested in this conversation in its own way. Sorry, I like that you said that I'm not telling you to take over the ship, because I think in Lynn's first mind, that's his thing. He's like, I guess I could do that, because that's what he's seen of the people he rides with these days. He says, well, you've given me much to think about, Soren. If you would please leave my chambers now, I would like to be alone.
Okay, very well then.
And tell Valoryn not to mess with my door controls anymore.
Then maybe you should behave not like a petulant child. At least a little bit. And
I don't think I'm behaving like a petulant child. Don't you walk out on me when I'm talking to
you. Door closes.
You hear a muffled yell from when the door closes. He's like, I'm not a child, I'm a prisoner.
Oh my gosh. He really needs to work on his rage.
Yeah, I mean, what would Cara Dune do during this little snit that Lynn Lenid goes through?
She's probably very used to it. I think Lynn is a bit of a petulant child at times, even when justified, which right now I maintain he is. So these outbursts are nothing unknown to her.
Nice. Yeah, so she just picks her head up from where she's laying on your blankets, and then settles them back down again. So any other scenes where you guys are in hyperspace before you arrive at Adarlon?
I go and clear my mind.
Nice. That is a good idea. So let's make sure you do that. When you clear your mind, your time away from distractions and clear your mind, gain 1 force point. And that is your only force point. So good call. That would be sucky. Is Adarlon one of your ports of call, Droff?
I think it is. I'd like to roll Ear to the Ground
right.
for what I know. So this is roll plus cool, so roll plus 1. 8. Word reaches you that they're facing a serious problem there. Ask the MC what it is. Or somebody needs to talk to you. Ask the MC who. Something bad is coming your way and the people there have a warning for you. I think I would like to say that somebody there needs to talk to me. Now, I can't remember who it is that we're supposed to be picking up the bounty for.
He's on the NPCs and places. It is Onan Leach.
No, he's the bounty, but the bounty was posted by somebody else, wasn't it?
Right. That is a thing we should definitely have defined. So let me do that real quick. We're going to say that the bounty holder is Vuror Haboth. He is an Athorian trader who put the bounty out.
Okay, but before we worry about that, we need to disable the Leppy's ship.
Oh, sure.
We're bound to have got here first.
Sure, that logic holds. You've got some locations. Did you want to make any of those ports of call choices on?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes. Sorry. I beg your pardon. Of course.
That's okay.
I know people here who can get me serious things, dangerous things, weapons, and No. I've got a better one. I keep flash rooms here. Dinner and a soft bed. Treat me like a wheel.
That's perfect because Adarlon, no one needs to worry about this, but if you're bored, Adarlon's kind of space Vegas. It's like space New Jersey, like not New Jersey. What's the place with the boardwalk in New Jersey? Atlantic City. It's not because space Vegas is Narshada, which is a moon in Hut space, but space Atlantic City is definitely Adarlon. It's right on the rim of trade route. The holographic medium was really refined here, so it's a little bit of Hollywood. I don't know Prospect City because I've never played in one of Leandra's Prospect City games. It's a thing that I should correct. I've heard that it's quite fun.
I have to say, a less Hollywood place, I can't imagine. It's much more Atlantic City.
Okay. But I think Draft, for some reason, you have attracted the attention of a holovid actress, director and producer. Really, she's an influencer as well, named Neil Yana. And so she's been working right now. She returned from a 20-year hiatus shortly after the Battle of Yavin to work on a holofilm called Kalea's Hope. And she's been working on it through the entirety of the rebellion in the fall of the Empire. This is her opus, right? So I think
this is Gilliam's Don Quixote film.
Yes, it's totally that. Yes, it's the Jodorowsky's Dune, except he keeps working on it. It's Gilliam's Quixote film. It's totally that thing. You've nailed it. So I think that she was absolutely a flawless beauty during her time as a holovid star, which happened just before a timeline of the rise of the Empire. And now she's kind of the fading beauty, still attractive, assertive, and entrancing and charming, but there are signs of age that are starting to show that she just promptly ignores. And I think she is the person who happily provides you flash rooms, dinner, and a soft bed. Does it sound cool? You like that? Awesome. So you guys land. If you check in the NPCs and places, you'll see I found a really cool picture of Adarlon. It's got towering, beautiful. It's like a less dirty Coruscant, like newer Coruscant to me. So there are a lot of speeder traffics and all these lanes that are happening around, but you don't have that dirty underbelly. Nothing's so tall that you lose sight of the sun. There are, of course, lots of places that are studio houses where they shoot all kinds of holovid and the like. But yeah, you guys land. Valoran, you tried to reach out to reach a lead, and if I remember right, we failed on that roll, so you have no leads. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. And I think that it's one of those things. What I did was I actually tried to reach out to the guild and say, I want trial because I had another bounty hunter interfere with my acquisition.
Nice.
Which is against the code, but I don't think I ever got an answer back.
Yeah, exactly. You've gotten no answer back. You know that there's a guild office here in Adarlon, so that's the most logical place to check in. Yes.
Does the tracker help us at all?
Oh yeah, the tracker will help you. She's already landed. You didn't get ahead of her. Yeah. But I'm imagining she's got a ship kind of like Slave One, except like a little smaller, but it's totally that thing that's like lands and it kind of flies almost sideways in a way. Because I just love that. So yeah, you're able to find she's in docking bay 42 here on Adarlon. You guys can land, and I imagine it'd be the first place you go. You see that it's secured. They're actually that the ship's on lockdown, and this is one of the docking bays similar to Tatooine in that it's open air, right? And then there's this big circular housing area for the landing bay. They can slip a domed roof over it if need be. And when you guys show up, if everybody's there, awesome. If not, that's totally cool. But I know Draf and Valrin are after it. You see, there are already some engineers led by an Ugnaught, who's their little floor supervisor, and they're doing refueling and repairs and the like on the ship when you guys show up. So is anyone not here?
Is Lynn still locked away?
Is Lynn still locked in his room?
I think so. I think Lynn at this point has kind of like exhausted himself by being so emotional. And if anybody comes to grab him, he'll just follow anyone. Like he's kind of burnt out on having any sort of decision, I guess, which he was just doing to himself in the hyperspace traffic. It wasn't even like anybody's talking to him. He's just like, yeah, he worked himself up, and now he's just like, whoever asks him something next, he'll just mindlessly follow.
This is some kind of hyperspace ventilation, a hyperventilation, something like hyperventing. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, sure. Sweet. And what about Soren?
Yeah, sure. I'll go with. I'll even try to see if Lynn's interested in coming along, because I mean he's stuck in his room, and that can't be good for anyone. Also, I would like to come and intervene if somebody was to go and be too violent or something like about this stuff.
Cool. Yeah, that then all of you arrive there, and I think your comm beeps with a message draft. It is none other than Neliana.
Real quick, Rich. Lynn asks Utri to stay at the ship with Cara Dune. He doesn't want to take her and risk her getting in trouble again, like at the last place.
Of course not. I would hate for you to be heartbroken at the loss of your lost cat. And Cara Dune seems cool with this. So, yep, one of your people is not with you to get shot at. So that sounds fine.
Well, I think that's a great call to have at that moment. Hi, Nell. Strangely, I'm in town.
I know. I actually noticed that your comm became active when it synced with our local comm relay station. I wouldn't say that I have, perhaps someone keeping an eye out for you or anything, but I am happy you're here. Darling, will you come by and see me? I'd like to speak with you.
Absolutely. And I try to catch the eye of the chief engineer.
Sure.
And I say, I'll need a word, but I'm on with Neliana. You know, Nell? Yeah.
Oh yeah, his little piggish eyes riding like, whoa.
So look, Nell, I've got a bit of business to do. And then maybe you and I could meet for dinner.
Absolutely. I will send a car around. I'll send a speeder around if you need it. Otherwise, you can meet me at our usual place.
Oh, let me meet you there. You know I love the food there. Okay. I love you lots. Gotta go. Bye, babe. Sorry, very old friend, very good friend. I'm here. You know that New Republic and everything? Yeah? Well, look, I'm here as the new ambassador. And I need to inspect a sample of incoming ships in order to make sure that, the standards in the Republic are now being promulgated, everywhere. And so I brought a team with me to just check it out. So we'll just, okay? Yeah?
I think you need to roll to deceive someone. It's like he's buying into it a little bit, and then you go the team, and he looks across and he sees Valren, he sees Valren, and then he sees Valren.
Yeah. I get that.
I try to appear as Jedi as I can.
Someone want to help?
I'd like to interrupt.
I love it.
When you say
Can
that he
I-
looks at
can
the
I-
crowd, I'm going to roll my eyes as hard as possible.
Can I help and he can interrupt? Or,
Yeah, we could do both.
I mean, my help will likely interrupt this even more, but
So interrupt. To interrupt someone, roll plus HX. On any hit, the MC chooses the most suitable. You're there first, you're in their way, you're ready for it. So you're in their way is going to be likely what seems to happen as long as you get a success.
All right. Luckily, I have 3 history with draft, so that's a +3 that I'm getting, which is just choice. I get a 9.
Oh, wow. Okay, so on a 9, yeah. So there we go. So you're in Droff's way, and they have to deal with you instead of doing what they intended. So yeah, you catch that Droff, and we'll have Soren help after. I just want to see how Droff reacts to Lynn rolling his Doros eyes so obviously that the Ugnaughts' little brow kind of he seems confused by that. Oh, Alan, you're on mute.
Does this sound like confront someone to dress someone down?
I mean, if that's how you'd react to it. then
I
see
think
that
this is
coming.
and you, I'm sorry, he's new, and you know, stop with the eye rolling. You just cannot get people. You need to stay in your place, kid. Zip it.
Please roll -1 tough.
Yeah, exactly. This is not my preferred operating, but when forced.
Yeah,
That's 7. That
oh,
could've gone-
wow. When you confront someone on a 7 to 9, you've left them some wiggle room and they can try to escape, bargain with you, pass off responsibility, or divert you instead. You choose whether and how to follow through. On a miss, be prepared for the worst. Okay, so you have been confronted, Lynn, but you have a little bit of wiggle room. If you want to push this and really seem like a jerk, you can. What do you choose to do as he dresses you down? Like at this point, you'd have to just say this is all a lie. Otherwise, you're kind of playing into his.
Yeah, no, it's he's Lynn's fine letting him dress him down and you know that.
Okay. And so now we have a 9, and let's see if Soren can help by being the dutiful observant.
oh yeah, let's see. I've got a -2 with draft, so yeah, I've got a 6. So, well, sorry.
I didn't need to do anything else. I knew it was coming.
Yep. Did Droff actually roll? I can't remember. I think he got a no.
I got a 9.
No. Okay,
No,
so you got
sorry,
a 9.
I got yeah, I did. I got a 9. And
That's
that
right,
would
because
nudge
Soren
me
was
up.
trying to push you to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Uglot says, may I see your identification?
Oh,
I have to
look,
log it, data pad.
yeah, but the difficulty is the Republic is so new. My credentials have not just look. You'd accept the word of a well-known and respected local, wouldn't you?
Well,
hang on. Now, I just need you to just tell this gentleman that I'm the ambassador for the New Republic.
of course you are, darling.
Okay,
Put
just
whoever it is
speak to him,
on.
babe. Speak to him.
And she,
You're on
she,
with
like,
Nell Yana? Yeah, go.
and yeah, it's I hate that this is audio only. If only there was a hollow. Droff, we really should get you one of those. What's your name? Gurkat. Oh, well, It's lovely to meet you. Please understand that Draft Bale is the newest representative of the New Republic. I'm hoping to give him the warmest welcome. If you could help him in any way that he desires. Okay. Thanks, Still. Yana. He's starstruck, and he will allow you access, he calls. He kind of squeals out and grunts a few orders to the other mechanics, and they drop off for you guys to make your inspection happen. Valren.
Disable the engines.
Disable the engines. Okay. What does Valren do?
You've gone muted, Steve.
Sorry about that. We've got permission to go inspect the ship.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay, yeah. So Valren's going to go over there and she's going to collect her little tracker. So put that in, in the pocket.
Nice.
And so I think she wants to reach in and grab like the, hyperdrive control block so that, just pull it out, put it in a pocket so that they can take off, but they can't go into hyperdrive.
All right, that's no problem. That's not even a die roll. You can totally disable this ship from the inside. No problems.
Great,
Lynn.
let's push this a little bit further.
Oh yeah.
So, was there an astromech droid or anything like that in here? It's okay to say.
Yeah, totally a rolly droid. Because I think
Yeah.
there's mostly just so cute that Tevi couldn't resist herself. It's brand new.
Nice. I'm going to reach over and pop a restraining bolt on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, you're going to report to me whenever Tevi comes back. And, tell me where she went. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. It lets off another disappointed chirp, but there's a restraining bolt on it, and it's gonna have to do the thing. Oh man, little head kind of droops down, but it's totally gonna rat on its owner to
Right.
you. Sweet.
When I turn to Draft and I say, there we go.
5. And then as we leave, just tell the Ugnut, the chief engineer, that I need you to seal the ship up and do no more work on it. It's well below spec on a number of New Republic specifications. It would be dangerous for you to do work on this ship at the minute until the owner has got a permit from me. Okay.
His little piggish eyes get wide with nervousness. I had heard.
You wouldn't want to, be responsible. Trust me.
Of course not. I don't want to be responsible.
Have a nice day.
Lock it up. He tells his mechanics, and they get all their tools and everything, and they're out. So, what are you guys, Soren? What are you doing during all of this mess?
Oh, well, nothing much. I mean, we're after this person, so we're disabling the ship, which is nice. And I don't have a great heart for droids, really, because they're not in the Force, and I don't care. So.
Okay, cool. So you have successfully disabled Tevi's ship and forced her rolly droid, which I'm going to grab from the names and species helper a name for her. For it, we're going to call it A143, because the idea of a droid named A1 amuses me, because I like A1. It's really good.
Is it purple, though?
It can be.
I've heard weird stories about purple rolly droids. I have heard weird stories about purple rolly droids.
Yes, you have. Sweet. and I just grabbed a picture of a beautiful purple rolling droid that I'll stick into the NPCs and places. What is it you guys would like to do next? Are you mostly playing the waiting game until you hear back, or are there other things that folks would like to do?
Look, I'll just take Valor aside and say, look, it seems to be the logical thing to do is wait for her to claim the bounty, and then sell her the hyperdrive coil she needs.
I hand you the hyperdrive coil.
Well, I know I have a dinner invitation.
This is personal. I want to go track her down. Yeah.
It's fine by me. But look, don't take offense, but given what happened last time, do you want to leave the hyperdrive coil with the kid? Pointing at Soren. I know that was a once in a lifetime thing.
You are wise beyond your years. I think you are good with. I think you're correct. I'm letting my emotions get the better of me. I will wait here for the rabbit to come back, the weapon to come back, and I won't let this get personal.
I'll stay here in case that rabbit person has a big Wookiee partner or something.
And you said you have a personal matter to attend to, Druff?
Yeah, I have a dinner invitation waiting. So, Valrun, look after the kids.
Sure thing.
I had a lot of dads, but this one, well, takes the cake.
Well, that's interesting. Okay, so we know that Draft is going to be going on a dinner date. It doesn't appear that Draft has invited any of the others, which is amusing, but perfectly fine. Lynn, you've been drug along to this. You've taken part in a pretty major deception, working against someone that maybe you've never, I don't think you even saw the levy. Like, as far as you know, you've never actually run into this rabbit person they keep talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Valrin is hanging out here to confront this Tebby. What are you doing, Lynn and Soren? I'd be curious what the two of you are. We'll start with Lynn.
I think Lynn is just kind of standing around and he's waiting for Valrin to tell him what to do, whether he needs to hide or sit down or what have you. But he's also looking around and kind of, his gaze is wandering for something that is better for his attention. He's looking for something to do that isn't this, but he's also, standing by waiting to be yelled at, to be told what to do. Because everyone yells at him. You need to understand.
Oh, so depressing. What is Soren doing? Seems like Lynn is hanging around Valrin.
Yeah, I'm staying with Valrin. For one reason, because Tabby might have another friend who's coming with her. I don't know. I mean, I have never met her either. She might be more dangerous. I mean, just because she's small and rabbity doesn't mean she can blast her or disrupt her or something like that. And also, I don't want Valrin to go and just murder that person if it's really harmless. So I'm just staying here to.
So I think Valrin turns to Lynn and says, why don't you go talk to the droid to A143, and I hand over the control for the restraining bolt to you and say, just find out what you can, and just to kind of keep him busy and keep him kind of out of the way. Cool. And then, out of character, I want to see someone laugh whenever the little rabbit comes walking in and be like, that's the little thing they took care of. I totally want to see a laugh. Yep.
Yeah, cool. So is Valrin on the ship in the hangar bay, outside the hangar bay, where she's waiting for Tebby to show up?
Yeah, so I think it's kind of around the corner. So basically, you come into the hangar bay, and there's like a tucked away area where there's going to be stuff. And I think she's just leaning back against the, against the far wall in the shadow, waiting for the Leppy to come back.
Okay. Cool. And then Lynn, you're on ship hanging out with A1?
Yeah, I'm talking to the droid. I just walk in with the controller and I just say, hello, little one. What is your name?
Oh, nice. So you speak binary. It's just
Oh, no, Lynn doesn't speak binary. Lynn speaks to it as he does, and he's just trying to,
nice.
Yeah, he says, he uses it as as kind of a sounding board. He just talks at it basically and voices all of his problems and his concerns, and he just lets the robot chirp back at him, and he chooses to internalize them however he sees fit to make himself feel better in the moment.
Wow. And then what about Soren? Where is Soren when Tebby arrives?
I think somewhere not directly with Valron, because you probably wouldn't do that. He has been he has seen people in bars, and if you're running some kind of stuff, it usually pays that one person's here and the other person's there, just in case something happens.
Yeah.
So he will stay on the other side, maybe, so you can see what Valron does, but also so you can see what this Leppy person does.
Okay.
So wait, I have a question. What does Soren know about these Leppies? I mean, are they all nice and cute and funny, or are they mean, murderous? What is the universal perception? I mean, they're small and furry, but so are Ewoks, and they're not really that nice.
You're not wrong. That's a great question. I actually don't know what the cultural interpretation of Leppy are. Let me check this certain website here. I'll tell you.
I could also just use a move for that, I guess.
Oh, that's even better. Let's do that.
Yeah, like read a situation, maybe.
Oh, sure. Yeah, this seems charged.
I think read a situation or read a person. Maybe read a person, right? Read someone. Yeah. I guess that's maybe better. But it's canny. And read a situation. Maybe I want to read the situation. That's still canny. I still think I'd rather read the situation just to see if there are more of the Leppies for his friends. Still canny, so yeah, well, I've rolled a 3 anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Sweet.
What attribute I'm using. That's what doesn't matter. Canny.
Did you mark canny for rolling canny? Yeah, you did.
Totally did.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah, so you do that. Maybe you're checking like a little data pad, trying to understand a little bit about Leppy, and you get like this the Leppy are often curious and impulsive, leading many to seek out adventure far from their whole world. And as you're doing that, the door opens up to the exterior, right? To the hangar bay. Opens up, and you see a maybe 5 foot tall on a good day, little black furred. Her ears are like hanging back, and her eyes are slitted, and she's holding her arm as she comes in, and she actually has just a little bit of a limp, and she's looking scared. Like you can see something has happened, and she makes her way towards the ship. Lauren, you've got the drop on her.
Yeah, so I step out, I pull out my sword. I think it's a vibration. Yeah, and it hums as I pull it out.
Oh God.
And I kind of step between her and the ship, and I say, we have business to settle.
She tries to scamper back away from you. I think she like bumps right into you, Soren, because you were flanked, right? You were on the opposite thing.
Yeah, exactly.
She like bumps into you, and then she looks up and she sees you, and she cowers down.
I'm a bit taken with this little thing, to be honest. So I'm just, hi. I'm trying.
So soft.
I'm trying not to sound totally soft, but well, yeah.
And I
I'm
say,
also,
no, go ahead.
you go ahead. You're the one threatening her.
Oh no, I like this good cop, bad cop thing. Yeah.
So I tell her it might still be okay. Just be cooperative, I guess.
And I think Valorant says, so you had something of mine. I've got something of yours. You know, let's handle this like business people.
I can't. I don't have it anymore.
Yeah. Well, maybe you don't have much of a ship left anymore either.
I didn't turn it in. I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah.
Wookiee came and took him from me. And I tried to fight back, and he thumped me pretty hard.
Which
I
Wookiee?
thought he was gonna kill me, but then he just laughed and left.
That's unfortunate for you.
But I thought you were a bounty hunter, right?
I am. I'm a bounty hunter.
Okay. So is this that usual behavior? I'm asking the two of you. For bounty hunters to just rip off other bounty hunters?
And Valorant looks at Soren and says, "It's forbidden by the code," and then looks at Tebby and says,
Ooh, her little whiskers droop when you pull that one.
Yeah, and says, her betrayal of the code just means she's not ready to be a bounty hunter yet. But the others we must deal with. And I think Valorant's cold. She's gonna say, here's what we're gonna do. And she says she walks Tebby onto the our ship, which is the Bold Devil, and is talking to her, and then as she gets her in, shoves her into the carbon freezing chamber and flips the switch.
Wow. I think
roll
you
for
need
that?
to let's see if you've deceived her well enough
Okay.
to pull that off. Because I feel like that's a strong possibility if yes, but I definitely want to let the dice decide if she's going to fight back.
That's Snake Eyes again. Yeah. I think that's my third or fourth set of dice.
That's insane, dude.
And what was that? Oh, that was Suave. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you start to shove her in, and she catches it too late, and she dodges out of the way, and she's going to take off. Like, she's going to try to run away. And she says, "I'm not that stupid. OBAP taught me better than that."
Yeah, and I think I let her go. I have no interest in tracking her down. What would it take for me to get an idea of the Wookiee bounty hunter that took the charge from her?
Oh, you could probably search your feelings, maybe do a little bit of research.
Okay. So I could search my feelings.
Yeah.
Which is deep. Okay.
While you search your feelings, I go and retrieve Lynn and the restraining bolt.
Ah. So I rolled an 8. So with search my feelings, that is deep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 7.
Nice. Yes, you know, it's a female Wookiee bounty hunter by the name of Ruvu. She has a cybernetic left arm.
Well, that's not good news.
She is just the kind of person to pick off targets.
Yeah.
It was 5 credit bounty was just enough to tempt her to steal.
Yeah. Okay. And I think that I think Draft gets a little, you know, the little beep that you get from the communicator that says, change of plans. The Leppy rabbited, and I'm going to bounty is now with acquisition is now with Ruvu, and you know connection, and we're gonna head that direction. And I think I'm gonna take Lynn. And if I'm not mistaken, Soren, you said that you left A1 and the restraining bolt and all that kind of stuff with
No,
them?
I took the I got Lynn and the restraining bolt out of it.
Oh.
Soren, when you came into me in the ship, you saw
Yeah.
that I had already taken off the restraining bolt.
Oh,
and
okay.
Like I'd put it away. I'm like, they shouldn't be doing this to you. Like they shouldn't do this to anybody. And I'm not going to let Valorant get her restraining bolt back. I think that stuff is getting like. I was
Okay.
actually waiting for the Leppy to come back and then be like, hey, here's a bunch of stuff for you later. Yeah. So when you come, Soren, I'm just like, here you go, and I leave the things and I just walk out with you easily.
Okay, I don't know much about the restraining bolt anyway, so I don't.
Would A1 come with us after talking with Lynn?
You've got a restraint unless.
Oh, no.
Lynn. Oh.
Lynn
No.
took it off.
Yeah.
So
let's
Lynn
go
took
for
the
restraining.
restraint.
I think A1 would stay by the ship.
Okay.
In fact, A1 realizes that it needs to fix the engine, and so it's going to try to do what it can, but it doesn't have the hyperdrive coil unless, I don't think you guys gave that back, so
Yeah.
it knows that's a thing and is probably trying to communicate with Tevi to let her know.
Yeah,
So that's
fine.
what A1's doing.
Okay. So I think that I'm going to take Lynn and Soren and head out and see if I can't hit the street trying to find Ruvu.
Okay,
What
cool.
you-
Look,
What
Oh.
do you know about this Rule character? Wookie? Big?
Um,
Aggressive,
Ruvu's-
I guess?
Ruvu's bad news compared to the little runt that we were dealing with. So this is, things have gotten worse, but not so bad that we can't handle them.
And the little runt was the one who took you out. So I'm sure this will go great for us.
I think she surprised you, right? She had the jump on you.
Thanks for speaking up, Lynn. Yeah. You're
Well-
always a source of joy.
I just would like a little kind of beep beep on the communicator. I'm taking messages, and I turn to Nell and say, "You just can't get the help anymore. I'm getting too old for this shit." And
Oh,
turn
yeah.
back.
yeah, you guys, I mean, are you out at dinner or do you think you're
Oh
back
yeah.
at Nell's?
Oh yeah, we're
Okay.
at dinner.
Nice. Yeah, so let's cut over to that. That's the intro instead of fade to black because you've
Oh no, that's all I want.
that's all?
I'm content with that.
Oh,
I want to see how Ruvu plays.
Okay, cool. Good. So you guys are going to try to hit the streets and find your way to search out Ruvu. On a 7 to 9 vague and foreboding, you've got Ruvu's name, but you're not sure where she might be hiding out. Is there anything else anyone like Lynn or Soren you'd like to do to try to hunt down this bounty hunter?
I mean, you could always try to follow the force.
I think you probably should try to do that, Soren Dahl. You're
Yeah,
really good at this.
Sure. I mean, if that's the best thing we got, then let's try that. And I guess this is still trust my feelings, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Mhm.
Trust
So
your
I'm
feelings. Roll with
going,
deep.
yeah, I'm going to roll with deep. Wow. No, it's not snake eyes. Thank you. It's a 9.
That new die roller, man, it is such a tease. You've got a 4. No, it's an 8. Every time.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Is it possible that I could have messaged back anything that Nell or I know about Ruvu
Yeah.
as a help,
That
so that
sounds.
Soren has something more to go on and might add
Oh.
one to that?
Oh, what do you think about that, Soren? You okay with that?
Yeah, that would be great.
Roll plus HX there. Scoundrel.
Which is, I've forgotten. Hang on. It is.
Soren's a
Oh,
1.
bum. It's just 1 with Soren. That's
Bum.
6.
One is
6?
my highest AHX. So
Did you say you got a 6?
I got 5 plus 1, 6.
Okay,
Mm.
cool. So go ahead and mark the XP for trying to help, even though you failed abysmally. So,
Wait, I got 2 more deep.
so Droff, here's the information that you have. Rufu is basically Snipes contracts because Rufu works for a certain individual known as the Warlord Zinj. So Rufu is basically a bounty hunter sniper for the last remnant, large remnant of the Empire.
Ooh.
So evidently this kanji club is important to Zinj.
Well, I will, of course, pass that on.
Okay. I will figure that this might help, though I still will just, this is not much to go on really, so I will just let the force guide my feet, basically. And maybe if it guides me to some sort of cantina where I would feel at home, that would be nice, because cantinas are also very helpful places where you can get information.
Sure. I think our potentially last scene at a cantina sounds fun. We'll call it it's a casino. It's basically a bar inside a casino rather than a cantina. Lots of bright lights, and you have the huge tables with Kowakian lizard monkeys that are handing out different chits and credits, and lots of beeping and blurping machines. There's a particular, this place is run by a hut by the name of Vranki, Vranki. Vranki, the hut, runs this casino along with a few others. You guys come in, and sure enough, Valrin, you spot Ruvu. We've got a picture in the NPCs and places, and she is meeting with a person who isn't wearing an Imperial uniform, but has the like high and tight crew cut, the erect posture of the military, wearing very nice clothes. The two of them are seated at a table that's near kind of the back part of the bar, near an exit. Soren, there is an individual standing behind that Imperial, and you have a very bad feeling about them. They have this mask over their face like a helmet. They have dark robes, and they think they might have a lightsaber.
I mean, I'm excited. I'm a bit scared, but I'm also a bit excited. That might be an Inquisitor. I mean, I will say this. I will say this quietly to Varon, and I say the guy in the mask or person in the mask, that might be an Inquisitor.
So I think I kind of take Lynn and Soren off to the side, and we kind of sit down at a table where we can watch Ruvu's table, and I put in a call to Droff. And I think, can we say that Droff, that basically that his dinner meeting was at her place, and it's in this casino hotel looking place?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think I contact Droff and I say, well, that nice juicy bounty just became very costly. It seems that the Imperials are involved, and they have a real force user. Not
Oh my god, you just say that in front of Soren? Harsh.
I think I do.
That's fair enough.
So as far as business goes, it might be time to cut out.
And I can't but feel that we cut to Draff and Nell, and then we see Draff focus over Nell's shoulder to the large archway that separates the restaurant from the bar. And we see him seeing this. And I think he'll say to Valron, nobody takes my money.
I think that's the end of the session.
Okay.
Right there. Cool. Yeah, that seems like the end of the session. Good. So we will do our session end stuff, which is all about like being friends and helping each other out. That's the way I remember it. Let's do our session end for real. I'll stop being silly. At the end of every session, choose a character who knows you better than they used to. If there's more than one, choose one at your whim. If nobody knows you better, choose a character who doesn't know you as well as they thought, or any character at your whim, and tell them to take -1 to their HX. So if someone knows you better, give them +1 to their HX on you. And if nobody does, you can take an HX away from someone. Start with Valron.
So Valron had an intimate moment with Soren and also had an intimate moment with Droth. I think that Droth is the one that she goes to most as far as, you know, this is just business. Let's not get mixed up with anything else. I think Droth knows her better now.
That makes sense.
So I add 1 HX, but I already have 3.
Okay, so that's really cool. So if it would bring you to HX +4, you reset the HX +1. Perhaps like you can fictionally interpret that however you want. I've seen like this person leans on me too much, and maybe I don't like that, or maybe they're just starting to outwear their welcome, or maybe they just think that they do. But anyway, resets to HX +1. You get to mark improvement, Droth. And you also, so that's the cool part of it.
Now I have just emptied the 3 stat boxes, or the 2 stat boxes in the help, in order to mark my 3rd improvement box.
Nice.
So I have an improvement coming. You tell me I now have 2 improvements.
No. If you notice, the boxes are called improvement. So you're just marking one of the check marks in.
So if I cash in 3 of them and put 1 back.
Correct.
Thank you.
That's exactly right. Yep. Cool. So that's pretty fruitful. Let's go to Lynn.
I think everyone knows Lynn a little bit better. I mean, probably much better after his kind of outbursts. So I'm just going to roll randomly for who gets to get a little bit of history. I think 1, 2 Valron, since Valron likes to roll 1s and 2s. Draft 3, 4, and Soren, you'll get 5, 6. All right, Draft gets another history, which I think. No, I'm at that puts you at 4 with me. So enjoy another improvement.
Gee whiz. This is going terribly well. Keep going.
All right. Let's move on to Soren. Who knows you better?
I feel like that would also be Draft, because we talked a lot about business and where I am on this page and where he's on this page. I mean, that felt like getting to know each other better, or making our positions clear, actually. So, and we're not at 3, so you don't get another improvement.
Yeah, you just go to 2.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Okay.
He can help me.
And then me, I think it's probably Soren, actually. Yeah, because while Valor and I had that moment, I think that we started knowing one another better, in the sense of we are what we are. But I think, Soren.
Okay, cool. So I can, your HX goes up to -1. Yay.
Yeah, I remain the completely open book I've always been.
I have no idea really. I mean, I know that you're a con man. I know that, and I think I don't trust you. That's more of the point, that I really don't. I've seen people like you in the bar, and it was always the same. You left, and then we were left holding the tab. And
ouch.
nice smile goes only that far.
Oh, that's harsh and not
Yeah, but
true.
I feel I know him better and maybe know his buttons a little better, and so
Lovable
I'm
rogue.
warming up to him.
Exactly. It's not negative yet. Or it's almost not negative. Awesome. Let's do our post-game feedback, friends. We'll do 2 stars and a wish. The 2 stars and a wish, we will start with wishes, and then we'll circle back around and do stars. That way we end on a high note. Wishes are there any points of confusion with the game? Anything that you feel like is missing from it? And then also wishes are, what would you like to see? We've got 1 more session. Remember, we're skipping a week, so it'll be in 2 weeks. We have one, because next week is Gauntlet Open Gaming, and I appreciate everybody being flexible with that. So in 2 weeks, so just like a wish is also a, hey, I definitely want to see X or Y type thing happen. Will be really useful for me in planning. Who'd like to go first with wishes?
I can go
Wishes.
first.
Oh, go on.
I mean, I thought I'd go on with stars, but I can't start with wishes, which is pretty simple. I want a lightsaber fight.
I did my best. I mean, if it doesn't happen, it's not my fault. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I won't try to get away from it, but you never know what happens. Play to find out and stuff like that.
I did stick a picture of that person in the NPCs and places, so you can see him.
I want a space battle of some description. I want the bold devil,
Lightsaber fight, space fight. It's going to be a big one.
Got everything primed. I think that feels good. Good. Cody, what about you?
Wishes, I'm not sure. So wishes can be something you want to see in the next one. What was it?
Yeah,
Sorry.
something you want to see. Sorry. It's critical feedback on the system. Like if there are any aspects of burned over Star Wars where you're like, I feel like I need a move to do X or Y, or I'm still confused by Z. And then also wishes for, I wish that we could do so and so on the Thursday.
Sure. I guess this is a wish, sort of. Feedback on the system, and this is purely on me, is I think I didn't realize that I could kind of call for the moves I was doing, in the sense that like next to the stat it says open your brain. I didn't realize that if you click on that, it gives you a really good description of what that would look like. So I think it was just, I wasn't realizing that I could kind of trigger moves more. I don't know, it was strange for me.
That's really good feedback, Cody. I want to make sure and highlight that, and especially in the future, to make sure people are comfortable with that.
Yeah, cool. No, which so wishes. I mean, that lightsaber fight does sound very tempting. I might have to go with that. I don't know exactly what I wish for. I think a pretty big conclusion with a Wookiee bounty fight is going to be pretty nuts. I don't know. I'm just excited for what comes next.
Nice, cool, awesome. Thank you very much. And then Steven.
I can't think of anything in the story specifically that I'd like. I think it'll be exciting and fun. As far as the system, I did notice in the Word document at some point I still saw the new move that you put in. What was it? Oh, do battle. So I was looking through something and I saw a move that said do battle or something like that. So you might search a place for that. I think it was in a playbook we weren't playing with, and I was looking to see if there was something I should look through there. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that I ran across an old name in there.
I just spotted one in Agent, I think, standing Overwatch. When you do battle, blah blah.
Is that the one that protects you? That lets you protect someone?
Spend gun. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah.
Good catch. Thank you so much. Good. All right. Well, then we'll circle back around to Sabine for stars.
Okay. So stars. I've got only 2, right? That's mean. I will give 1 star for the whole thing with Lynn Lynette and Utri leaning in, and Lynn being so petulant and getting on people's nerves and getting on our own nerves. I felt a bit, and then the whole last cat thing, and yeah, I really like the whole situation on having this destined person with his destiny, whatever it is, and everyone's like, okay, but we need to make money. That was I like that. I like the whole thing where we have this totally mystical character, and then we have these total business characters, and then we have Soren, who is kind of pragmatic, I guess, and more pragmatic than I expected, but well, he is. So and I will give another star to, whom did I want to give another star to? I think I will give another star to the scene between Soren and Draft, because I really enjoyed the whole, the way that these two were interacting, and Draft was trying. I like that Draft was trying to pull a shit on Soren. That was a lot of fun.
That was so good. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sabine. Alan, 2 stars.
Yeah, I'd reflect that one back. I really enjoyed that scene where Soren just called Draff on, don't do that to me. Yeah, okay, I know what you're doing. Stop it. I thought it was great. I really loved it when Stephen, you thought about it, and then he said, no, I'm going to freeze the rabbit. I thought, no, she's cold. Click, freeze the rabbit. Yeah. And yeah, no, Cody, you did the petulant teenager, just spot on. We need to find some way to, I mean, if I could add to my wishes, we need to find some way to help Lynn make the leap from teenager to, what he wants to be, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a really good one. Cody, got a couple of stars?
Yeah, first, Alan, that's pulling out the, I think revealing early on in the second session that you're like, that the relationship that one of the characters thought had with you was non-existent was really good. I think you, and I also starred to Stephen for, I think you guys really pushed the plot forward in playing to your character. So by Valorant being so cold and being like, here's what I'm doing for the bounty. Oh, I'm getting stunned. Well, this is what's happening now. Oh, I'm going to capture that rabbit again. I think you guys, in really leaning into your characters, you put a lot of threads out there to pull from. And I thought, yeah, just kind of not keeping the relationship as it was, status quo with Lynn, Alan. I think throwing that curveball in there really early was really cool, because we could have gone the whole series with the same relationship, and that's fine. It was a cool relationship, but having that dynamic thing going through it is just like, oh shit, this blew it wide open.
Cool. Thank you, Cody. And Stephen, bring us home.
Yeah. I, in the intervening time, thought of a wish.
Yay!
Last session, we had talked about how I had turned in Droff's assistant or protege. Yeah. I'd like to see that come into play in the last session. Yeah, I'd like to see a confrontation kind of thing. So anyway, back to stars. Number one, I'm going to reflect Cody's a little bit and say, hey, it was, I felt kind of selfish that most of my poor rolls drove a lot of the fiction, because everything kept messing up and everybody rolled with it great and everything was fine. But it was like, oh, Stephen rolled poorly again? That means that now the bounty is taken by someone else, or now it's Imperials, and we're like, oh no. And specifically to Cody, my second star is, you handled the whole, kind of being left out because the rest of us were all going to go, leave, and you wanted to stay, and you handled the whole not getting your way in character so well. I enjoyed watching that. It was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, stars all around to you guys. This has been a really interesting kind of, it's like that swashbuckly Buck Rogery feel of like, we're going to here, this thing's in another double cross, I'm double crossing the person, that person got double crossed, and I loved the Ocean's 11 moment of Draft being there already and just looking over. That was Chef's kiss. So many good moments. I'm really excited for Sorendal, about to have a lightsaber fight of Lynn Lanid, and I'm sure there've got to be some things going on for Lynn and the cult for him and the cult against him. It's gonna be delightful. And I saw that chat, so I'm saying it out loud. You know, the I am your father scene, that might be a cool little thingy there as well. Maybe might be nice. Just kind of hang a sign on that one. Good. This has been fun. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you for running it, Rich,
you.
and thank you for running with Steven's roles and with everybody's things.
So much work.
Well, dealing with that many 6 minuses is a challenge. It really is. You know, bang, bang, bang.
It was. It felt noir in the whole, like, things keep going wrong for the protagonist moments there. Yep, I'm glad that it worked out. I'll go ahead and stop the live stream here.